PCU2 usage video, accessories and function demonstration. This is a PCU2 drive, and this is the accessory kit for the drive. Drive interface introduction and installation. The drive has two communication interfaces, two pneumatic ports, and one power port. The power port uses the power adapter included in the accessory kit. The communication interfaces are a TCP interface and an I/O interface. Insert the DB25 cable from the accessory kit into the I/O interface. Plug an Ethernet cable directly into the TCP interface. When both TCP and I/O are used simultaneously, TCP control has higher priority. The pneumatic ports consist of an air supply port and a gripper port. Connect the air supply port to an air source of approximately 600 kilopascals with a filter attached. Connect the soft gripper port directly to the gripper for operation. Modbus debugging software usage and connection. Insert an Ethernet cable into the TCP port and connect the other end to your computer. Open Control Panel, go to Network and Sharing Center. Click Change Adapter Settings. Right-click Ethernet, select Properties. Locate Internet Protocol version 4, TCP or IPv4. Click Properties. Enter the IP address as shown in the diagram. Click OK and return to the desktop. Open Rochu. Switch the network adapter to the configured Ethernet interface. Click Search to view the drive's IP address. Right-click to modify the IP address. Change the prefix from 192.168.2 to 192.168.1, matching your earlier setting. Click Modify IP address. Search again to confirm the IP update is successful. Then return to the desktop. Communication software connection. Open Modbus poll. Drag the PCU2 file into the software and connect to the drive. Click Connection, then Connect. To open the connection interface, select TCP or IP as the connection type. Change the IP address to 192.168.1.200. Set the port to 502, and click OK to connect. Next, review the functions. Real-time working pressure indicates the drive's current pneumatic pressure. Positive or negative pressure feedback threshold sets the pressure value to trigger feedback. When the gripper's pressure reaches this threshold, the feedback light activates and the digital feedback signal switches on. Air supply pressure shows the current air source pressure. If below 450 kilopascals, the drive's power output reduces. Electronic pressure regulation adjusts output pressure. Safety pressure level corresponds to the panel's gear setting. Exceeding this level triggers an alarm and halts the drive. Remaining functions include activating positive or negative pressure and monitoring feedback signals. I/O connection. Start with the drive interface. Insert the provided DB25 cable from the accessory kit into the I/O port. On the drive panel, refer to the I/O wiring diagram and functions labeled in the top right corner. Connect corresponding lines to enable I/O control. Using robot as an example, the robot's I/O port left side has a PNP output type, high-level output. Connect the robot's DO port to the drive's line 1 and line 3. Connect the robot's G&D port 0 volts to the drive's line 2 and line 4. Triggering I/O now controls positive or negative pressure. For feedback, connect 24 volts to the positive terminal and the D port to the negative terminal to receive feedback signals. Pressure adjustment uses voltage analog control. Ensure your device supports voltage analog output signals. Here, connect the device's AU port analog output positive similarly. The remaining two ports are Modbus RTU interfaces. Connect them to an upper computer for operation. Usage mirrors the TCP port covered later. Robot connection tutorial example TCP or RTU. First, connect your computer to Dobot's LAN 1 port. Open the Dobot robot control software and connect the robotic arm to the computer. Click Settings, Communication Settings to view the IP address of the LAN 2 port 192.168.100.1. Then, connect your computer to the drive's TCP port. Return to the desktop and modify the IP address using the method from the first step, ensuring the prefix 192.168.100 matches Dobot's address while the last digit differs from the robotic arm's IP. Next, reconnect the computer to Dobot's LAN 1 port and connect the drive to Dobot's LAN 2 port. Return to the desktop, reopen the Dobot control software, and after connecting the robotic arm, launch graphical programming. Open the manual to locate the Modbus instructions. Begin programming by linking the drive to the robotic arm. Create a master station IP identical to the modified drive IP. Set the negative or positive pressure values here. The arm uses 10-bit float addresses. Referencing the table, the negative pressure address is 790. Enter 790 in the programming address and set the value, for example, -93. Similarly, configure positive pressure. To activate negative pressure, set address 257 to 1. Negative pressure on, gripper opens. After moving to the target position, set address 257 to 0 and address 256 to 1, negative pressure off, positive pressure on. Repeat these steps to pick and place various sized materials. Watch the actual demonstration video below. First, connect the drive and set the positive or negative pressure values. Open the drive's negative pressure to make the soft grippers open. Activate the drive's positive pressure for the soft grippers to grip. Repeat the operation to release and return the object. Reconfigure the drive's positive or negative pressure values to enable gripping of materials with varying widths.